So that's the problem with the V8 sorted for now. I have a feeling sometime in the near future we may have to address that problem again, but for now she's running fine. So we're in the garage now, thank God, because it's just absolutely started to lash it down with rain. So really happy to be back in the garage. We're going to be working on the red TR7 and I'm going to do a compression test today. So let's bring it back down to earth and let's get started. So first things first, let's get this garage door open. We'll start the car up and get her up to operating temperature so we can do the compression test. Unfortunately, the choke won't stay out. Every time you let go of the knob, it just flies back in again. So it needs to do the old trick, get a closed peg. Problem solved. Always keep one of these in the glove box, they come in really handy. So I'll let that warm up now for about 10 or 15 minutes, get to operating temperature. I'll just have a quick slurp of my tea and then we'll get to it. So this is the compression kit that I've got. It was only cheap off Amazon. Here's the pressure gauge here. You've got your adapters on the end. It comes with 4. This is a 14mm one on the end here. This is the one that suits our car, so we'll be inserting this into where we take the plug out. The other end just goes onto the gauge. You have to pull the sleeve back, pop it in, and that's it. And then you quite simply just crank the engine over and hopefully you get the right readings. Now I believe on the TR7 you want to be getting between 120 and 160. Anywhere between that is fine, and no more than 10% difference between each cylinder. So let's connect it up and give it a go. So she's well hot enough now. I'll turn the engine off. That's that sorted. So the first step you want to do on a compression test, obviously, is that you don't want the engine to start. You need to disable it. There's a few different ways you can do it. Best way to do it really is just to disable the coil. So you just pull the HT lead off the centre of the coil. Make sure it's out the way. That's it. So pulled all the leads off because I'm going to take all the plugs out. It just makes it easier to turn the engine over and get a better result. So we'll take number 1 out first. Being careful, of course, not to burn my hand, because this exhaust manifold is really hot. That's number one plug out. A little bit sussy, so still running a little bit rich. Let's get this last one out. So that's interesting that the colour of the plugs out of number 3 and number 4 pot, they're just very slightly rich, whereas number 1 and 2 were really sussy, so really running rich. Now, considering I've balanced the carbs and the mixture and everything, they should be pretty much damn near the same. So I'll have to have a little look into that. So that's all the plugs now removed. I've got the gauge all set up, so all we need to do now is crank the engine over and we'll have a look at that gauge and see what it says. So we'll crank it over now, and hopefully this needle will go to at least 125, which is about there. That is actually 145 in pot number 1. So that passes, so let's try number 2. Between 150 and 155 for that one. Try number 3 now. So number 3 is about 145, same as number 1. To release the pressure on that. We'll try number 4 now, the last one. .140. So we've got 140 number 4, 145 number 3, just slightly over 150 for number 2, and 145 for number 1. I think that is acceptable. So the readings for the compression test, according to all the forums and the book, it's got to fall between 120 and 160 psi. Now the highest reading I got was 155 and the lowest reading was just above 140. So that falls within the 10% range. It's roughly about 9%. So I'm quite happy about that. I had a feeling it was going to be okay because after driving it, there's plenty of power in the engine and it's quite smooth and responsive. So happy days. So once again, thanks very much indeed for watching. It's much appreciated. If you've liked what you're seeing, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you wish. It is absolutely free. And as I always say, it really does help the channel. So until next time, bye for now.